Hey, it's week 2 of the preseason. A little NFL action here. I'm Dave Loughy with OddsShopper. Happy to be back with you guys again, but I got to be honest, this schedule for this week sucks. We got one game on Thursday, we have 2 games on Friday, then 11 on Saturday, and I think like 2 on Sunday. Last week it was way better. We had 6 on Friday, 6 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday, but we take what's given to us. And today we got the Cleveland Browns and the Philadelphia Eagles. So as long as there's games or even one game, we're going to talk about it. But before we do me a favor, helps me greatly. Hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below. Where are you going on this game? And of course, I put in as much research, take as much time as I can to find all of the best information for these games. Your support is appreciated. Tail these picks, fade them, doesn't matter to me. I'll give you my thoughts, I'll give you my pick, and we'll see what happens. I kind of like this one. It's weird, but let's get into it. All right, so first up, Cleveland's a 3.5-point dog in Philly, 38-point total, 38.5 in some spots. Browns plus 155 on the best book I could find on the money line. Eagles minus 175. And as always, guys, can't stress it enough. Always find the best odds. Always shop the best odds. If you're not doing it, you're doing yourself a massive disservice. You're legitimately leaving lots of money on the table every time you place a bet. You can only get lucky for so long before it starts wearing away at your bankroll. I put all of my favorite promos in a link in the description. If you want to check it out, click it. It'll take you to my 3 favorite books with their promos. And if you scroll to the top of that, say you're already there, all of the other sportsbook promos are available there. Take advantage of free money. Always shop the best odds and get the best lines and make the most money. So let's get into this game. But just to throw that out there, it's important. So Nick Sirianni didn't give us much information through the media this week. But fortunately, we actually have a lot to look at on this game, or at least a lot from last year that I think is going to shed some light on what he'll do this week. So check this out, right? Last year, for week 2 of the preseason, Eagles played the Cleveland Browns. Now, I know the Browns played a Hall of Fame game this year, but I don't think that makes a huge difference. Here's another wrinkle. The Browns and the Eagles held joint practices last year, just like they did this week. Interesting, right? So my hope is that kind of tells us all we need to know. I'm looking at it like this. Gardner Minshew played the entire first half of that game, followed by Reed Sinnett getting almost the entire second half. Then Carson Strong came out and had like one drive and then a couple of kneel downs, whatever. Sirianni did tell the media, though, this week that he views every joint practice essentially as a preseason game. And if you've watched my videos, you know that I've mentioned it a lot. Tons of coaches are doing that now. It's just the way it is, right? Like the joint practices are more preseason games to tune up their starters than anything else. Then you run your backups out there. But I think what we could see here is a full half from Marcus Mariota in the Gardner Minshew role from last year. I think it's not only plausible, but likely. And then a healthy dose of Ian Book and then Tanner McKee. Those guys aren't moving the needle. I mean, there are a couple of nobodies in the NFL world. The Eagles also do have some depth on this team too, so I can get why they be laying 3.5 points at home. However, you look at last year for the Browns, you look at this game as a whole. I mean, last year was weird for the Browns because Deshaun Watson was suspended. I know he did play a preseason game, but he was suspended for most of the season, the first 12 weeks or whatever. And then Jacoby Brissett was taking all the starter snaps because he was the starter up until Watson returned. But in week 2, Kevin Stefanski played Joshua Dobbs and Josh Rosen, and they split the game. We already know now that Watson and Dobbs aren't playing and that Dorian Thompson-Robinson is starting this game. So my guess is you see basically what we got in the Hall of Fame game. Kellen Mond played the first half. Dorian Thompson-Robinson played the second half. I think you just reverse that with DTR starting the game and playing the first half, we already know, and then Kellen Mond getting the entire second half. That seems to make the most sense for me. DTR has been pretty good too, right? Like in the Hall of Fame game, I didn't see that coming. Many of us didn't. And it wasn't even just with his legs. It was him throwing the football. Albeit he was doing so against guys ready. He's played the second half in the first 2 games. He was doing it against guys that, probably are none of them or most of them aren't going to make the roster. And if they do, they'll probably never play a snap in the NFL regular season. So we have to take that into consideration. But I think there's some nuance here since he's starting and since Kellen Mond hasn't been great. But at the same time, like let's look at it this way, right? Let's back up. DTR's played well enough thus far. He's likely going to get the whole first half. And there's nothing about Ian Book or Tanner McKee that should inspire any faith in us whatsoever. So I don't think I'm laying 3.5 on the Eagles here. I don't think I want to do that. And I don't love this game, but I do like a side if I'm betting it. And what I mean by that is, since it's the only game we have for Thursday, I think I'm going to put a small bet on the. I am actually. I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to put a small bet on the Browns money line at plus 155 on FanDuel. Now, like I said, this is much worse odds at other places. I saw like a plus 138, a plus 143, a plus 145. I'm getting the best odds I can. I'm doing it on FanDuel. I'm going to be on as many sports books as possible. And in this case, it just so happens that FanDuel has it at plus 155, and I'll call it a day there. Sirianni's 1-5-1 straight up in the preseason, 2-4-1 against the spread. That one win did come against Cleveland last year by a point, but it doesn't mean anything. You have the joint practices, plus Sirianni never playing the preseason to win, plus them being 3.5-point favorites. I'll take the other side here. But because it's a weird one where you've got Mariota and you have DTR and then some terrible backups, give me Browns money line. It makes more sense to put a small bet on that. And also, there's some 38.5 out there, 38.5 on the total. Other spots I'm seeing 37.5, which is a huge step up. If you're looking to take the under in this game, I would lean under 38.5. I saw it on Bet Rivers and Sugar House and a few others in my area. And I would go small bet on the Browns money line here at plus 155 on FanDuel. So appreciate you guys hanging out as always. And if you want to talk more shop, talk more football, our Chalkboard app, which has over 2,500 members, just started up a couple months ago, is 100% free. Link in the description. Would love to have you guys hop in and join. All the bets are always going to be free in there. Nothing charged for anything ever. Awesome community of great people, like-minded people who just love sweating football and other sports. So if you want to join our Chalkboard app, hop in. And otherwise, I'll see you back here tomorrow for a 2-game Friday. Peace.